Hello, hi, Daniel. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us about your experience of taking the TOEFL at home.
Hello, Kevin, and thank you for hosting me in this interview.
Of course, of course. Yeah, I'm excited to hear about your experience and be able to share it with our students because I know there's a lot of questions and uncertainty around the TOEFL at home test. So hoping that this is helpful for other students. So just to get a better sense of your experience and also what your plans are, why did you decide to take the TOEFL?
Because I want to start doing a master in UK, and they are, in order to get into the master, they are allowing now to have the TOEFL online version and also like the Duolingo. I don't know. I thought this one was more like traditional, and maybe I was going to easier. So I don't know.
Oh, interesting. So you had the option to do the Duolingo test, but decided to do the TOEFL.
Yeah, because it's also like I was deciding in between two universities, the Liverpool and Southampton universities. Southampton accepted both, but Liverpool only accepted the TOEFL. So that's also was that defining why I choose to do the TOEFL.
That makes a lot of sense. Then it works for both schools.
Yeah.
How did you feel about it going into the experience?
I feel it was quite nice since I was able to do it at home quietly. It was nice schedule as I was able to set the exam whenever I wanted in the day. Like, for example, for me, it's nicer to have the exam after lunch. So I decided to take the exam at 4 p.m. Because for me it's better, so I can review my notes in the morning and be more relaxed the whole day. I think that's something that for the normal exam you're not able to, because you have to go somewhere to make the exam. You also have to adjust to the schedule that they have. It's more constrained in this way.
Well, that's great. Did you find it easy to find a time and day that worked for you?
Certainly, yes, because they give you with plenty of options. They have 4 days a week where you can choose practically any time of the day to do the exam. So you have plenty of options to do the exam. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's a really great positive part of taking it at home. It sounds like of being able to like find a time and day that works best for you, and you don't have to budget in travel time and being in a new environment. When you were signing up, were any parts of it confusing at first?
Not really. Like, the process was really straight, and also like if you take the time they have like some bullet points where you can just check out what, if you have everything that you require for the exam, like some, for example, like requirement for the computer, requirement for taking the notes, because that's, I guess, something important that normally you can just take your notes in papers, but for this one you have to use the whiteboard. So if you like, I think that's kind of important, like to check the bullet points that they provide you in ETS website, and they're quite useful, I think. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. And it sounds like you reviewed those before going to sign up. For taking notes, did you use a whiteboard? I know some students have used like a white sheet of paper and a plastic sleeve. What did you decide?
Yeah, I got the whiteboard, yes, because I think it was more convenient as for the exam, because like it's more precise, and also like if you can remove everything, and I also got like a thin pen, so I was able to take notes like really similar to the paper experience that I'm used to.
That's great. Before you took the exam, did you practice with the whiteboard at all?
Actually, yes. When I was doing exams in Magoosh platform, I was like using the whiteboard just to get used to it, because I'm not used to the whiteboard, as I usually just take notes in white paper. So I started using it in the days before. Yeah.
Great. So you were able just to spend, sounds like maybe a week or so practicing with the whiteboard, and that was enough.
Yeah, exactly.
When you started, I guess, setting up for the exam, you sort of interact with a proctor. Did the proctor ask you to remove anything from your test area?
As I was already prepared for it, like I already removed everything from my area of studio, but so he didn't ask me to remove anything, but he did check everything on the table, under the table, all around the room. He also asked me to show the phone, all the corners of the screen with a
Okay.
mirror. Yeah.
Oh, with a you used a mirror and not moving the camera around?
They asked you can do it with the selfie camera on the phone, but you also can do it with a small mirror. I thought it was more handy to have the mirror. I don't know. I use it. Yeah.
Great. What did you remove before you started taking the test, and how did you know what to remove?
So in the website, they have a video where they explain what you have to remove. For example, like lighting, it's okay to stay on the table, but other stuff like books or I don't know, papers and anything that you don't really need in the exam, you have to remove. You also have to keep your ID to show them your identification.
You mentioned that it was convenient being able to take the test at home. Was there any other aspect of the exam that was especially easy or convenient?
I haven't taken the TOEFL before, but I've seen people complain about that when you take it in the centers, that there's noise because the people are doing different parts. So maybe you are listening people who are doing the speaking part while you're doing the reading or stuff like this that may be disturbing. As I was at home, I was able to be focusing on the exam and just don't have any noise or anything disturbing me at the time. And also, I think it's a more calm area because I've been studying here, and it's made it easier also for this reason.
That's great. Yeah. I can imagine, or I know students complain about the distractions of other people talking in the testing area, and that makes a lot of sense. Were you able to take breaks during the exam and leave the room at all?
Yeah, you're not allowed to leave the exam at any point, but the 10 minutes break between the first and the second part of the exam. In these 10 minutes, I was able to move around my house like freely, but they asked me after to do the check of the room again, just to see if I have add something to the table or something have changed. Yeah.
How long does the security check take?
It doesn't take long. It's just like 3 to 10 minutes, I think.
Okay, so fairly quick.
I think the first time took a bit longer than the second time, but still, I didn't think it was longer than 3 to 5 minutes. Yeah.
Did you notice on the exam anything being different in the sections of reading, writing, speaking, or listening?
So I was used to do the reading parts in Magoosh. They usually have only 4 tasks, and the one I had in my exam have 5. So that was a bit disturbing to me because I was more used to do the timing and also like the test, but it was also okay because you have just the same time. Besides that, I didn't find anything different from the exams I've taken in Magoosh. Yeah.
Great. So you had one extra reading part in the reading
Mm-hmm.
section, but it sounds like you still were able to complete it on time.
Yeah, I was able to complete it on time. Yeah.
Great. I'm curious about when you were interacting with the proctor, did they use a chat window, or could you hear their voice, or was it a combination of both?
Yes. Yeah. So it was like a combination of both. There was sometimes where he was just like sending me messages over a chat, and like at the end of the exam, like he was giving me instruction of how should I finish the exam. There was other times like at the beginning of the exam when he was indicating me what do I have to show him, where do I have to point out, like if I have to open some stuff, where he was using his own voice.
And how long did it take once you sort of sat down to begin the exam? Did it take long for the proctor to start it and get you going?
For the starter, it took like 10-ish minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Something
Great.
around 10. Yeah.
Great. So you mentioned, curious to hear more about your preparation. You mentioned Magoosh. Was there any other ways that you prepared for the exam?
So I actually decided to take the exam like really in a short time. So like just 1 week and a half before taking the exam.
Wow.
So I didn't have much time to really prepare for the exam with other materials. So I kind of just focused on Magoosh and like the strategies they give to. Because I wasn't familiar at all with the exam because before that I took the Cambridge exam.
Yeah.
And those are completely different, and I was not familiar with the format, so I basically more focused in like the strategic that the Magoosh give, and I think that's what's really useful. And also like the fact that they give you the exams like exercise, and that you can take like some exam format thing that they provide you with the mark, and that's what's really useful. And for that short time, it was really nice. And I think I also took some exercise that they give for free in the ETX website.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Those are great to use. If you're comfortable sharing, how did you do on the exam?
So I did okay, but I didn't accomplish what I want. So I think I'm gonna have to redo the exam.
Okay.
Because I got a 94 overall, which is okay, but I got lower points that I need in the writing and speaking sections, where I got 21 and 22, and for those I need 23 and 24.
You're very close.
Yeah, close but not zero.
Yeah. Have you signed up for another exam yet? Or do you have plans when you're going to take it?
Not yet, because I just got the marks this morning, and then I did the exam like last week. So I'm still like deciding around like when I'm going to take it and these things, the arrangements. Yeah.
Great. Well, seems like you're really close. So I'm sure a little more studying and practice, and you'll be able to hit those scores you need.
I hope so.
Well, Daniel, thank you again so much for sharing your experience with me and with our students. I know it's going to be really helpful for them to hear about your experience and everything you went through to take the exam. And it's great that it turned out so positive.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Like, thank you very much for everything. And yeah.
Great. And one other piece of information to share for anyone watching this who wants a discount on Magoosh, you can use the coupon code TOEFLHOME20, and that'll give you 20% off any of our plans. Well, Daniel, again, thank you so much, and appreciate your time.
Thank you. Bye.